Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Melissa with A&M Hobby Farms. So today we are canning bruschetta, and that's my oven preheating in the jars. I'm using the ball canning book, and it's page 223. But it calls for 5 cloves of garlic, 1 cup of dry white wine, 1 cup of white wine vinegar, a half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of basil, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and 9 cups of diced tomatoes, or cored chopped, not diced, cored chopped tomatoes. I do have to do all the tomatoes. I will not make you watch me do all of them, but I do have the 5 cloves of garlic from my garden that I will put in here. And in the pan, you're going to combine everything. And it says it's stainless steel. I do not have stainless steel. I don't have stainless steel anything to cook in. So we're going to do it like this. I'm hoping that'll be alright. But it says in the saucepan, combine the garlic, the wine vinegar, the water, the sugar, the basil. So we're just going to combine. So, if you watched my other video, I don't drink wine. I actually stopped a random person at Myers and was like, hey, I need a dry white wine. It doesn't actually say dry on any of the bottles. And so I was like, I have no idea what that means. But we need a cup of this. I probably need better glasses at this point in my life. And if I like this, I might do a second recipe, but for now we're just going to do the one. I think this might be, I'm going to need more tomatoes, and I do have enough tomatoes to do more. This is what I'm going to start with. So the wine vinegar is another cup. Maybe I should have taken that safety part off of it. Maybe I also should have pre-measured. That probably would have been smart to do. And then we need a half cup of water. And I don't know why I lean down. You see it better from an angle, so I always lean down and do that. And then the sugar. One day I'm going to redo these knives so that they don't fall out when I go grab them. So 2 tablespoons of sugar. And 2 tablespoons of basil, and 2 tablespoons of oregano. That doesn't fit in there. And then 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Wow. There's also a recipe in here that is balsamic pepper jam. And I'm thinking if I got enough time today, because today we're going to do the bruschetta and the onions. But I'm going to do this video with the bruschetta first. And so I got this in the pan. I'm going to do my tomatoes, and then I will get back to you. Before I cut into them, I wanted to show them. So I'm using, these are all from my garden, different
different colors, different sizes. I'm hoping that it'll look pretty inside the jar. I've canned the yellow tomatoes with the red ones, and they always look fun when I do like quartered tomatoes and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to use all the colors that I have. I'm going to clean them, but yeah. So I figured I'd show that. I love the colors that came out of my garden this year. Alright, so it says to bring it to a full rolling boil. I got all my tomatoes. They got like different colors. I think that looks good. It almost kind of looks like salsa. Some of them greener ones look like salsa. But so we're going to bring it to a full rolling boil, and it says stirring occasionally, reduce the heat, cover, and boil gently for 5 minutes until the garlic is heated through. So it's only just now on. I haven't it's not boiling. I just turned it on, and I am going to pack my jars. It doesn't seem like very much though. It's a lot of tomatoes, a little bit of salt, so we'll see. I'm going to pack my jars, and I've had them getting warm in here. There are a couple bigger jars. I'm not going to use those bigger jars. They're just in here in case I didn't have enough jars, so I could use a bigger jar to fill up space in the canner. And the canner is boiling, so as soon as this is done, we'll be good. I probably better add more water to the canner though, now that I think about it, because it is taking me a couple minutes. I will pack these. Now the other day I was doing sauce, and I ladled my sauce into the jar, and the jar broke. And I had warm jars, warm sauce, and it broke on my tray. So I don't ever take the jars, or I hadn't, and at that point yet, had never taken them off the jar until after they were filled anyways. But yeah, I was like, well, now I'm really glad that I always take the time. And I'm leaving, I think, a 1/2 inch headspace when I filled the tomatoes. And my water runs super slow. But I was running it over. I don't know how I tuned that out, but yeah. I got water pressure problems. And so my water runs really slow, so sometimes I tend to turn it on and then walk away and forget that I turned it on. I haven't overflowed anything. My husband usually catches it, thankfully. And these jars were washed before I put them in there. Like they were fully washed. I just put them in there for their sanitizing. Some of these jars are older. Like I've had them. Some of these jars were here when I moved into the house. Actually, there was a ton of canning stuff here when I moved in. Like this year will be 19 years ago, so I'm sure some of these jars are 20 plus years old. And they still work, so. We'll squish one into there. Alright, so I got 6 jars. I think it said it was supposed to do 7. Says makes about 7 8-ounce jars. I got 6, so we're gonna go with it. Okay, so we are boiling. So we're gonna stir this, and it says packaging stirring. Reduce the heat. Boil for 5 minutes. So we're going to timer 5 minutes, and this is until the garlic gets soft. And I'm still looking at this thinking that doesn't look like enough. Hopefully it is. Maybe I should have packed the tomatoes a little tighter. We might do that. Some of these tomatoes can be packed a little tighter. So we might combine tomatoes. Make them fit a little bit nicer. But they're hot jars. Oh yeah. Push it down, squish it in. All right. So we're down to 5. I spilled a little bit, so now I'm going to clean that up. No, that looks like it's still a bunch of water in there. Add a little bit just to be on the safe side. Just the 2 cups, so it won't take too long to get back up to a boil. And then when this is done boiling, we will add this. Might be boiling a little high still. This needs to wash. And then I always keep a scrap food bowl. This is just like whenever I drop stuff or lose stuff, I just use it as scrap food. And I always clean as I go, because otherwise it's out of control. And you have no idea what's going on with anything anywhere. So, but yes, this says to pack the tomatoes into the hot jar, a 1/2 inch headspace, ladle hot vinegar mixture into the jars, over the tomatoes, leave in 1/2 inch headspace, remove the air bubbles, adjust the headspace, and then place the jars in the canner, and we're going to can them for 20 minutes. So we're going to do that, and I will fill the jars, and I will bring you back when I get them filled. Alright, so this is done boiling. We set our timer for 5 minutes. The garlic looked good, and so now we are going to ladle it into our jars. And I usually just use a measuring cup. That didn't take very much. But once we debubble it, I'm sure it'll fill up. Get some of those herbs out of the bottom of that. Oop, that one got way too full. Definitely hoping that more space comes into that one. This one went down all on its own, so we can add a little bit more to this one. And then we will put our chopstick in here and debubble this. This one I might need to remove some stuff. It didn't debubble as well as I was hoping. Everything else though went down to almost an inch of headspace, so those ones went down well. This one, it's a wide mouth jar, so maybe that's why it didn't really have a ledge for it to get stuck in. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I just know follow the directions and things tend to work out. Alright, then there's some little chunks of garlic in here, and I don't want to leave those. I'm going to tap them into some of these jars. And then this one here, I'll use a tablespoon. We're going to take a few of these tomatoes out, trying to leave the liquid in there and the garlic. They're hot. Just so I can make sure I have that ½ inch headspace. Then we are going to wipe the rims with white vinegar. Make sure they're nice and clean. So I put the vinegar on one side, and I'll do a dry wipe with the one side of my paper towel. If you use regular towel, you could do that too. Just to get like the big stuff off. And then I go back with the white vinegar, and I wipe my rims. Make sure we're getting all of it off. Make sure we're going to have a good seal. And then we put our rings on, and they're over here. Alright, so the lids have been washed in their soapy water, and they are ready to go on. And they're going to go on fingertip tight. Jars are still a little hot. I'm not sure that one went on straight. Felt funny going on. Guess I brought more lids over, more rings over than I needed. Oop, got an extra lid too. Alright, and then we will take the lid off of our canner. And I already have the rack and the lifted up. And we got 5. And I've got the little separators on mine, so it's not too bad. And we'll let this come up to a boil, and then we'll set our timer for 20 minutes, and I will show you what they look like when they come out. Alright, so I got them taken out of the canner, and you can't really see the colors on them, and I don't want to touch them, but you can see all the seasonings rose to the top. There's must have been like tomato liquid on the bottom. Yeah, they're kind of colorful. Not that the lighting is all that great in here, but I'm excited. Got 5 jars, and I seen the pantry challenge. They got like a challenge going in August. I like where you put food away every day, and I don't have the time quite to do that every single day, working in a factory. But I figured if I do a whole bunch of it on the weekends, that it'll work. That's what's going to work best for our house. So we're going to do this one. We're going to do onions. I'm going to do some cherry tomatoes, and then I'm going to do whole tomatoes and quartered tomatoes today. And so I'm hoping to get about 50 jars done today. We'll see. Maybe 30 or 40. Because we do have a birthday party that I will have to stop doing everything and go to that today. But yeah. So we shall see. And if you're participating in that challenge, good luck, and I hope you have a good turnout. I know it's supposed to be every day, but I don't have time for every day. It's going to be on the weekends, and we're going to do as much as we can on the weekends. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe, thumbs up, and enjoy the rest of your day.